right, so good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Lees. I'm the CEO of Coastline, and we're an organization committed to helping older and disabled adults and their caregivers access programs and community resources to help them continue to live at home with the independence they want and deserve. Today's celebration of seniors is all about you, so thank all of you so much for joining us this morning. At Coastline, we're so proud to support the District Attorney's Office in our role as co-host. It is an honor to work with the DA Quinn and share the stage with so many great guest speakers. I want to note that each year we specifically host our celebration on the same week as Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is 2 days from now, June 15th. Both Coastline and the DA's office understand the importance of continuously educating the public about the very real dangers of elder abuse and what can be done to protect yourselves or your loved ones. This event takes about 6 months to plan out, and we really couldn't pull this off without the extremely hard work of staff at Coastline and the DA's office. There's far too many people for me to list right now, but they're all here. They're still working to make sure today goes smoothly for you. So I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved in today's planning. I also need to recognize our incredibly generous sponsors, because without them, none of that planning could become a reality. So, thank you. So for this year, our 2 platinum sponsors are Anodyne and Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol. Thank you. Our gold sponsor this year is AARP Massachusetts. And our silver sponsors, we have quite a few, so hold your applause, let me get through them, otherwise we'll never get out of here. So silver sponsors this year: Advanced Home Care, Associated Home Care, Bayada, Bay Coast Bank, Bristol Aging and Wellness, Careforth, Cornerstone Caregiving, Eternal Health, Fallon Health, New England Medicare Advisors, the Law Offices of Jane E. Sullivan, the SHINE Program, Serpernat, Benesky, and Nunes, Tufts Health Plan of Point 32 Health, and finally United Healthcare. So thank you to our silver sponsors as well. Each and every one of our sponsors and all of our 72 vendors help make this event happen each year, and for that I'm beyond appreciative to all of them. I also want to note that because this event has grown into the largest of its kind in Massachusetts, this year we've expanded. We've now taken over basically the whole facility. So after we break from breakfast, be sure to visit both sides of the building and all 3 of the rooms. That way you make sure to visit all of the vendors and get all of the resources that are available to you today. With all that being said, in a moment I'll pass off the microphone to our first speaker. That's Bristol County's District Attorney, Thomas Quinn III. With over 27 years of prosecutorial experience, DA Quinn has established himself as a leading advocate against elder abuse, domestic violence, and in support of youth crime prevention throughout Bristol County. DA Quinn created the Elder Abuse Unit to prosecute those who cause physical and financial harm to our elders. So please welcome to the stage Bristol County District Attorney Thomas Quinn III.
Thank you, Justin. I too want to thank the sponsors for making this event possible, and the vendors that are providing important information to you. I'm going to cut to the chase, but I need all your attention. I've been the DA for over 10 years. I've made it a priority to do the best we can in our area to protect seniors and make them aware of the pitfalls in society, which primarily are people trying to scam you. You all heard of scams, right? So I beg people not to answer the phone if you don't know who's calling. Obviously, that's not going to work. I would again reiterate, if you don't answer the phone, to a number you don't know who's calling, you're not getting scammed. You agree with that? That's 1 + 1 = 2. I'm not going to belittle anybody, or be critical of anybody getting scammed, but here's the bottom line. It's getting worse by the day, okay? These guys with the technology and gals but are out there. You're not going to trace the numbers. You're not going to get your money back in 99.9% of the cases. So I am going to beg you, don't answer the phone. Your computer's not broken. Your grandson's not in jail. The IRS isn't going to come and get you, okay? ICE isn't outside coming to get you. We all have a little, think ICE is going to call up and say pay 10 grand? That might be a new scam. You think the FBI is going to call up and say your identity's been compromised, we need $10,000, we're coming to your house, put the money in the mailbox? No. No, in fact, there was a scam yesterday. It's the registry scam. Anybody get a call from the registry? Okay. With all due respect to the registry, do you think they're going to call your house? Text you? If it's a text, ignore it. No federal government agency is going to call looking for money on the phone. Can we all agree with that? So don't, hang it up. See, you're going to hang. I'm telling you not to answer it, but obviously you're going to answer it. Don't fall for it. This is all based on fear and terror, right? My grandson, they're going to arrest me. You owe court fines. You didn't go to jury duty. You're going to be arrested. Take 10 grand and go down to, which I'm going to talk about, Bitcoin machine. Ever hear of that? Okay. So, Bitcoin ATMs allow customers to buy digital currency, such as Bitcoin crypto. Hear about crypto? People have lost billions in that, say, scam, but by putting a cash into a machine, right, at Cumberland Farms, and it goes into the pocketbook, if you will, of the scam artist that will not be traced. So has anybody heard of that? That's becoming an issue now. The machines are in Cumberland Farms, Circle K, Rite Aid, grocery store. Somebody told me, if I heard it correctly, it's in what do they call them? The washing machines? You go to wash your clothes, right? Laundromat. I haven't been to one recently. Nor am I going to, so I'm not getting scammed in a laundromat. But for those who do, okay, they have, I believe they're called Coinstar machines. I've heard, we're dealing with several of those issues now. Here's my point, okay? If you answer your phone and get a call saying you've been arrested there's a warrant for jury duty, go down to the jail and take 15 grand out and go down to the jail and pay. Oh no, wait a second. Go down to the cryptocurrency machine. There's one at Cumberland Farms in New Bedford or wherever. That's an outright scam, okay? So I am kind of animated today about this because as a district attorney for over 10 years, we've made protecting seniors a priority in my office. That's why we're here, and again, thanks to Coastline for their efforts in co-sponsoring this. But you have to, it's all based on fear and terror. Being directed to take money out to pay anything by anybody on the phone or online is a scam. Does everybody understand that? Yes. At the very least, if you're scared, call the police or the DA's office. Do not, does everybody hear me? Well, you're going to hear me now if you can. But this is what, because you want to be out 20 grand if you have the money? Plenty, you'd be surprised. But it might, or whatever it is. You want to be out 5 grand? Who has it? People have it. There may be their savings. If you have the money and it's your savings, you want to eat 50 grand for your beloved grandson who is not in jail, who is not in an accident. And again, I'm just saying this because we're seeing this more and more. So I say don't answer the calls. If you do get a call or communication, just don't panic. It's a scam. Do nothing. Or call the police or call a friend or relative. Don't believe anybody who asks you to make a payment, and they're not asking for $5, we agree, right? To go to a Bitcoin machine and put in large amounts of money, it's a scam. Don't be scared or scammed. Don't let somebody send a courier to your house. Ever hear of that? Okay, well, I have. To pick up the cash. Okay? It happens. I'm not criticizing anybody. All I'm saying in the end is, I and others in my office are putting efforts in. You have to be vigilant. It's a tough world out there in many respects. There's all kinds of violence going on, the country, the world. Obviously, people saw what happened last night, okay? Some very serious things going on. We have to be vigilant, okay, when it comes to solicitations of you looking for money. They're scams, they're nothing else. Don't be afraid. So again, thank you to the sponsors. We're here to protect you. Don't cough up the money to anybody asking it over the phone, online, or anybody else, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, next up we have somebody from one of our platinum sponsors who's Anodyne. We have with us today Courtney Quinn, who is the president of Anodyne. Anodyne has been our Celebrations Platinum sponsor for many years. From my role at Coastline, I can tell you they are an invaluable partner in our mission as well. Courtney Quinn has a proven track record of excellence in leadership and strategic planning, and has been a driver behind Anodyne's success and growth. Her expertise in managing complex operations and her dedication to enhancing service delivery have made a significant impact on the organization. Courtney's commitment to innovation and excellence in the healthcare sector is truly commendable. Please join me in welcoming Courtney Quinn from Anodyne.
Good morning. I'm Courtney Quinn, the president with Anodyne Homemaker Services. On behalf of the entire team at Anodyne, I'd like to thank Coastline Elder Services, the DA's office, for our long-standing and continued partnership, and together celebrate our seniors. Anodyne's mission, like so many of us here today, is to help seniors remain safe and independent in their homes. We believe everyone should have the opportunity to live independently with dignity, especially our senior populations. While aging can sometimes make independent living more challenging, a well-rounded support team can make all the difference. I want to share a story of a man Anodyne has provided service for since July 2024. I will call him Robert. Robert began receiving 12 hours of care from Anodyne per day. His wife was living with him, and she was supposed to care for him when Anodyne was not in the home. Soon after we began servicing Robert, it was evident he was not being well cared for. His workers reported bed bugs in the home. He was not attending his medical appointments. His phone and cable had been shut off, and often there was not enough food in the home. Sadly, his wife was verbally abusive to Robert when he asked her about paying the bills or the condition of the home. Anodyne immediately filed a protective service report and involved Robert's case manager. After an investigation, it was discovered that Robert's wife had emptied his bank account. Additional services were authorized to assist Robert with the condition of his home and to assist with his financial situation. The courts issued an order for his wife not to return to the home. Almost a year later, Robert lives alone, but he's happy and thriving. He goes to his medical appointments regularly. His home is clean. He has a phone, TV, and food. He has a team of workers and a case manager who respect and truly care for him. Anodyne was so very happy about this outcome. We all have an obligation of ensuring seniors in our community are safe. By reporting instances of abuse, neglect, and exploitation, we ensure people get the help they need. With over 50 years of experience, Anodyne firmly believes our clients have the right to safe, quality service. Today, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to celebrate the seniors in our community. Thank you very much.
Okay, next we'll hear from our other platinum sponsor, and that is Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol. Lucilia Prates has been a statewide director of the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program since 2002. In her role, Lucilia has made consumer engagement a cornerstone of the SMP program because engaged healthcare consumers are the first line of defense to protect, detect, and report healthcare errors, fraud, and abuse. A graduate of UMass Boston, Lucilia has over 40 years of experience serving and advocating for vulnerable and underserved populations. In 2007, she was appointed to the Massachusetts Department of Public Health's Public Health Council by Governor Deval Patrick for 2 years and reappointed by Governor Charlie Baker in 2013, where she served for 2 6-year terms. Please welcome Lucilia Prates.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for inviting us to be part of this celebration once again. So what you heard from our former 2 speakers is very true. It happens out there daily. And thank you for the work you do to protect our seniors. I'm with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program, and I get out of bed every day to fight healthcare errors, fraud, and abuse, which impacts every one of us. Healthcare costs are what they are today because of all the fraud that's out there. How many of you receive phone calls on a daily basis from somebody trying to find out if you have back pain, leg pain, are you a diabetic? These calls, if you're not answering the phone, you're not getting these calls because they're not leaving you a message. But if you pick up the phone, people are asking you these questions. And they're asking you these questions, they're pretending to be Medicare while they're at it because they want to confirm your Medicare number. Or better yet, they're calling you to tell you that Medicare is going to issue a new red, white, and blue plastic card, or a card with a chip, or a card that sings and dances for you with all the benefits that you can imagine. That's not happening, okay? They want to confirm that number so that they can bill Medicare for thousands of dollars. We recently had a conference, May 6th, and on the front table of a presentation that was done was durable medical equipment from durable medical equipment companies, allegedly, companies that have no business being in the business. And they had sent out over $20,000 worth of braces, okay, to a particular consumer who lives in East Boston. I went there to pick up those braces so that we could have an impactful display for people to see this is what's going out to people on a daily basis, being shipped to them. And Medicare is paying the bill. We need to be very vigilant. I want you all to please look at your Medicare summary notices. Look at your explanation of benefits. Keep a personal health care journal. In fact, we have little doodads for you, little tchotchkes, a healthcare journal, a magnifier, a letter opener, so you open those Medicare summary notices and examine what they say, what those claims are for. If the claim on that Medicare summary notice on that bill is not pertaining to any service that you received, you need to do something about it. If you got a bill on your credit card that was not something that you purchased, you would be calling your credit card company, correct? So if you see something on the Medicare summary notice or the explanation of benefits that does not pertain to your care, I want you to call the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program. You're all thinking, what's the number? Go to our table, number 20, get a journal, get a letter opener, get a magnifier, get a pen, get lots of other things that we've got there. Jar openers for those of us who have I can't say the word this morning, issues. I have the issue today in my mouth. please go and get these materials so that you can call us, so that you can be in the know. You've heard about the scams. These are equally bad. They're defrauding our federal government, your tax dollars. So Medicare said, I've been saying this for 2 decades now, so I know that this number is very conservative. It's got to be 3 times this number. But we use this number, 60 billion with a B dollars is spent on Medicare fraud, okay? Annually, $60 billion. I've been using the number, as I said, for 2 decades, since I've been at the helm of this program. So the number has got to be higher. But we only use numbers that the federal government gives us to use. So that's the number we have for you. It's bad enough. But we know it's higher. I know it's higher because of all the calls I get on a daily basis. Complaints from consumers who have called constantly, incessantly. I get calls on my private number at the office. Somebody's trying to sell me burial plans, and they're trying to get me to say that I have back pain. They want me to say yes. Because they want me to say yes so they can record my voice and use it for something else. Be careful. Don't answer the phone if you don't know who's calling you. I'm going to reiterate. Okay? Don't answer the phone. Okay? And if you answer that phone, hang up. Okay? Keep a healthcare journal. Prepare for your visits to the doctor. Write down your questions. If something happens to you in the healthcare system, I want to know about it. Call the S&P program. If you don't get the right care, there are protections for you. Call us, okay? If it's a billing issue, call us. We want to hear from you. We're here to protect you. Thank you.
Okay, next up we're going to hear from our gold sponsor, again, AARP Massachusetts. I'm sure everybody, when they hear AARP, they think they have some idea of what they do, but they really are just an enormous resource for older adults. They offer education, health benefits, advocacy, legislative support, and so much more. I'm pleased to welcome Ryan Berard to the stage to explain some of what he's been looking at AARP Massachusetts.
Thank you, Justin, and thank you to the other folks who have sponsored the DA's office, and certainly Coastline for putting on such an incredible event that always tops itself year after year. And thank you to all of you for coming out this morning and participating. We are at AARP an organization dedicated to helping people age as they choose in the communities that they want to be in, making sure that people have the supports that they need and are protected and advocated for as they grow older. I'd like to keep with the theme of the morning and talk about protecting yourselves and your hard-earned money and your family's future based on all of what we're seeing these days with the incredible uptick in scams and fraud that is not just targeting people who are older. Did you know that the age group that reports being defrauded the most are people between 20 and 29 years old? But the people that lose the most money are the people who are over 60. And unfortunately, scammers, much like, CVS, for example, are very good at knowing kind of a lot of information about you before they even get you on the phone. So, to reiterate, don't answer the phone. But if you do, and you are a victim, AARP offers a network of support. We call it the Fraud Watch Network. It's a nationwide group of volunteers who, many of whom themselves have at one time been a victim of a scam or a fraud. And they can help you to deal with, honestly, the emotional weight of being victimized. A lot of victims don't want to come forward because they're scared or they're embarrassed. It is nothing to be ashamed of. It is not something to be embarrassed about. It can happen to anyone. There was a woman who was a financial writer for the New York Times who has an article out about how she was scammed and gave money to someone who came to her door because she believed what was told to her. She bought into the fear and to the urgency that the scammer on the phone insisted was real. And even, someone who we would all believe has the education and the knowledge to avoid that, it can happen to anybody. But I have good news. At AARP this year, we're working on a piece of legislation specifically to combat the issue that the DA raised, these Bitcoin ATMs. Now, you may not have ever seen one, but you also might and not even realize it. You could walk into the convenience store, the grocery store, the liquor store, the corner gas station, and what otherwise looks like a regular old ATM that we all know that you would take money out of, these machines you put money into. And they could call you and tell you to do it for any number of reasons. But people have lost over $200 million last year using these machines alone. And there is no regulation, either at the state or federal level, that can help you and prevent other people from losing their money. We've introduced a bill in the State House. It's House Bill 1247, Senate Bill 707, that would put common sense regulation on these machines, of which there are more than 600 across the Commonwealth right now. With no regulation and no protections in place for consumers, the potential losses are endless. I have a story of a woman who walked into a convenience store with $130,000 in cash, spent 2 hours depositing that money into the machine. The store clerk, who had never even seen someone use this machine before, because the companies that own them don't train or give any materials to the stores where they put them, the store clerk felt bad for her. She was over 85. She looked frail. He brought her a stool so that she could sit and continuously deposit $100 bill after $100 bill of that $130,000 that she'd worked her entire life to save. And in an instant, it was gone. And the FBI, who I talked to last week, continues to say that there's no way for them to really recover the money because these scams are perpetrated by folks overseas. They don't have the jurisdiction to be able to go after them at the source. So we have to stop the choke point where the money is leaving the victim and going to the scammer. And this legislation would require these machines to be licensed so that we know where they are and who's running them. They would have to have warnings on them that tell people that they could potentially be defrauded and lose everything. They would require a dedicated line to law enforcement so that when you notify the police that you've been victimized, they can get information from the company. And most importantly, it would have a limit on the transaction amounts that can be done at one time. If you were a new user of the machine, you couldn't put more than $500 in at a time. Right now, there are no limits to how much you could put in. It would also mean that you could be refunded. These companies who run these machines believe that even if you're a victim of fraud, if you put the money in the machine, it's their money. Even if it's just sitting right there, they say, no, you can't have it back. That's our money now. It doesn't matter why you put it in. This bill would require that money be refunded to you. We need to do this now. This has become such an emergent issue, and so many people have been affected by it. Several other states have already passed legislation, including Vermont, Connecticut, and Rhode Island is planning to do it next week. If we don't act soon, even though we'd like to be first in Massachusetts, we'll be the scam capital of New England. The Connecticut State Police told me that scammers are telling people in Connecticut, just go over the border. Go use the Massachusetts payment machines. I don't think that that's what we want to be known for. So call your state rep, call your state senator, tell them that we need to pass this cryptocurrency ATM bill now, before anybody else loses their entire life savings to these criminals who, quite frankly, are only in it for the money, don't care about you, even if they tell you that they love you, even if they tell you that they're trying to help you, it's the only way to be safe, they're lying. They're no different than someone coming in and swiping your jewelry off your dresser. So protect yourself. Thank you for being here. And please, reach out to your elected officials so that we can make an impact and change this for the good. Thank you.
All right, it is my honor to introduce a leader who has been at the forefront of reimagining what it means to age in Massachusetts. Robin Lipson is the Secretary of the Executive Office of Aging and Independence, where she is guiding the Commonwealth toward a future where every person has the tools, resources, and support to age how and where they choose. Since joining the agency in 2015, Secretary Lipson has helped position Massachusetts as a national leader in age-friendly innovation, becoming one of the first states to join the AARP network of age-friendly states and the first state government to be recognized as an age-friendly employer. Under her leadership, more than 200 cities and towns across the Commonwealth are working to become more inclusive and livable for residents of all ages. With 4 decades of experience in healthcare strategy, policy, and implementation across the public, nonprofit, and private sectors, Secretary Lipson brings a deep understanding of the systems that support aging with dignity and independence. She holds a bachelor's degree from Connecticut College and an MBA in healthcare management from Boston University. And I just want to add, as a personal note, Coastline contracts with the Executive Office of Aging and Independence, and Robin is just an excellent secretary and a wonderful person. I'm really honored to have her today. So please welcome Robin Lipson.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for that lovely introduction. My mom has asked me if, as secretary, I do all the typing and all the copying. But what I really do is I have the honor of leading the state agency that helps to support older adults thrive in their communities. So it's wonderful to see so many people here this morning, and the speakers have been great. So here's a quiz for you. What is the one thing that we learned from all these speakers this morning? Don't answer the phone. Good, they pass. I want to start with a note of gratitude and to say that the work that all the vendors and exhibitors that you'll see in the halls around us today makes an enormous difference in people's lives. We're grateful to have community leaders like from Coastline, from the District Attorney's Office, from AARP for the Medicare Fraud Patrol, and from Anodyne to kind of round out all the community partners who help us do this work. I'm not going to talk a lot about scams and abuse because I think you all learned a lot about that, but I do want to say that as the state agency that manages the program that investigates abuse of older adults, we receive about 45,000 calls a year of potential cases of abuse or neglect or financial exploitation. Those numbers are growing, and that won't surprise you given what you just heard from our other speakers. So let me zoom out a bit and talk about some other things that might be of interest to you. So at the Executive Office of Aging and Independence, our goal is to ensure that every person, regardless of their age or their ability, has the tools, resources, and supports that they need to age with dignity, independence, and choice. We're building a Massachusetts where people can age how and where they want, surrounded by strong community connections and support, and you can feel that kind of community connection in this room this morning. Some of you may or may not know this, but last time we spoke at this gathering, we were the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. A name that didn't mean a lot to people. There were lots of jokes about it, and what we found when we spoke to people in the community and focus groups was that people didn't know what we did, and really importantly, the term elder did not resonate for them. It just wasn't a word that they used. They really wanted to be referred to as older adults, and they really wanted to shine a light on the issues around aging and independence. So that's why we changed our name last year to the Executive Office of Aging and Independence. And so even though you may not have ever heard of our agency, we're going to do a little bit of audience participation now. How many of you here, by show of hands, know someone who gets a meal delivered to their home? Whether it's Meals on Wheels, okay, that's a lot of people. And by show of hands, how many of you have ever seen or consulted with a Shine counselor, someone who helps you make decisions about Medicare coverage? Okay. And how many of you have ever been to a senior center? Everybody, okay. So our agency funds and manages and oversees all of those programs that I just talked to, plus work to support more than 60,000 older people in their homes through the kinds of services that Coastline organizes and through home care agencies like the one you heard about a few minutes ago. So I want to share a couple of initiatives that are going on at the state level designed to make Massachusetts a better place to age. We are so lucky to live in this state at this time. We have leaders who really understand aging, who care about aging, and who value the process. So just last month, Governor Healy signed an executive order directing all of her executive offices and her cabinet to incorporate aging in their decision-making. We call this incorporating aging in all policies. So this means that if you run the Division of Motor Vehicles, for instance, the DMV, they want you to think about what it's like for an older resident to come in there, what it might be like to stand in line, what it might be like to not be able to read all the forms because the font is too small, what it might be like to be told to go to a kiosk to register if you don't really have the comfort with kiosks to register online. So that's what aging in all policies means. I'm not picking on the registry, but I think it's an example that's a really great one because everyone's interacted with them at one point or another. And I think we all know what it feels like to walk into a building that maybe their purpose is not to address our specific needs, but to get a bigger job done. And so what it really means with this executive order is that I'm not the only person in state government thinking about all of you. It means that folks in public safety and parks and recreation and environment and energy and housing are thinking about older adults. The other thing that I want to talk a little bit about, and again back to audience participation, how many of you think of yourselves as caregivers to someone else? Someone maybe in your family or a close friend or relative, right? So we have about just under 1 million people in Massachusetts who raise their hand as family caregivers. It is noble and important and critical work. You are the backbone of our care system. For all the great work that home care agencies do, that often supplements caregiving that's provided by a family member or a friend. And I, like so many of you here, know what it's like to be a caregiver. I'm a caregiver to my 95-year-old mom. I know what it's like to balance the demands of caregiving with the rest of my life, with my family, with my work, managing my own health, and all the other little things that need attention. And it can be exhausting, it can be emotional, it can be frustrating, it can also be incredibly rewarding. And one of the things that my experience has given me is a really strong lens through which to help make policy and programmatic decisions at the state level. And so when we hear from family caregivers in the state that they want more support, we hear that they're interested in respite care and opportunities to access day programs, so many of which closed during COVID, for those who work to have more flexible work hours so that they can get home to actually help care for a loved one. And that they want payment or some kind of stipend to compensate them for their time. So we're working on all of that. We recently received a federal grant to help innovate in the caregiving area, and we hope to be providing some grants out to community-based organizations in the next month to do that. So this is just a beginning, but it's an exciting step. And we're not just talking about supporting caregivers, we're investing in real solutions created by, for the communities who we know the best. Before I close, I just want to thank you again to all the partners here, all the exhibitors supporting older adults, and thank you to our residents for speaking up and letting us know how we can support you. I think together we're building a Commonwealth where aging is not just supported, it's actually celebrated. Thank you for being part of that vision. Thank you for letting me share this time with you today, and I hope you truly enjoy the rest of the morning. Thanks very much.
I just want to close out by thanking again all of you for joining us today, all of our speakers, our sponsors, our vendors, and of course Whites for having us here today. I also especially want to thank the district attorney for continuing to make this event a priority and the issues of elder abuse a top of mind issue for him, and continuing to grow this event bigger and better every year. And I just want to remind you, don't forget to visit all of the rooms. We've spread out. It's easier to get to all the tables now. And there's massage tables right through that doorway if you didn't see them. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everybody.